Hey, welcome. We are back. So it is the new year. This is Jennifer. Take a few moments, and I am going to be using a chair with a blanket today. Um, and we're going to be doing a really gentle seated grounding practice today to just bring us back to center here. So go ahead and grab yourself a chair, a blanket if you'd like, a block if you'd like, water if you would like. Just go ahead and find whatever you need to make yourself feel comfortable. You're welcome to sit on the floor as well if that's where you want to be. It looks like Cecily the cat has decided to join us today, so she will most likely be in and out of our view today. So I decided today to focus on centering and grounding for a couple of reasons. The first reason is because when the new year comes, I know you, like me, are probably totally bombarded with all of the ads that are like new year, new you, join a gym today, start a new diet today, do all of these things to improve yourself. And marketing works by making you feel bad about yourself. It's just the nature of the beast. Having taught business courses and having taken multiple marketing courses in my educational life, I know that how we get people to buy things is to make them sense that there's a need for them to change or to better themselves. So what we want to talk about today is centering and grounding yourself where you are and learning how to love yourself, like yourself, appreciate yourself enough to do the things that really feel good for your own body. So my empowering question for today is, am I focusing more on what my life looks like than on what it feels like? So are we creating our lives to meet the unrealistic Facebook norm of the perfect life? Or are we living our lives in a way that feels good for us? So with that said, I want you to find a nice comfortable seat. I'm going to get these slippers off. It's still a little chilly in my room here today. And start by coming up on your toes. So just kind of settling the heels back and then coming back up onto the toes and releasing back and coming back up onto the toes. Just kind of stretching out, starting to stretch out our legs a bit. So I want you to think about what the things are in your life that bring you joy, that bring you happiness, that make the life that you're living feel good for you. All right, so let's a couple more times, just kind of come up onto those toes and then release the heels back. Then I'm going to bring my feet out and plant the soles of my feet down on the ground. So I want you to press in to the soles of your feet. So think about pressing in first to your big toes. Press those big toes down into the ground. And then press the little toes into the ground. And then press the big toes again. And the little toes. And the big toes. And the little toes. And then press into the heels. So plant down through those heels. Now bring your hands first just to your knees, or you can bring them a little above your knees if you'd like. Sit up nice and tall. I want you to imagine your heart center open, releasing those shoulders back. And just nice deep breaths, just bringing your breath in and out through your nose. Just bring the breath in, hold it at the top for a count or two if you'd like. our shoulders come in with the breath. So on the inhale, let the shoulders lift, and on the exhale, release them back. Go with your own breath. So the best way to do this is to listen to what I say, and then close your eyes, and just follow the lead of your own breath as you inhale those shoulders up, and then exhale them back. One more full breath. Ending with those shoulders back, the heart open. Imagine that you're lifting up through the crown of your head. And then we're going to take a little moment here for a little bit of self-care. So bring your right hand up, and I want you to take your left hand to your right hand and just massage your right hand. You can massage down into the wrist if that feels good, up into the fingers. So as you are doing this, I want to talk a little bit about what my December had held. So we don't do a whole lot for the holidays. Kids have other families that they need to go see as well. So we didn't do like a ton of stuff from that perspective. But we did some traveling. I did 3 half marathons in December, one on the 1st, one on the 15th, and one on the 31st. 2 of them were plane travel. Let's work up into our wrists a little bit more. And what I realized from those trips, switch to the other side. So switch over and just massage out the left hand with the right. Was how much I really enjoy just spending time with friends or with my husband or my family, and how much I enjoy getting outside and getting that activity no matter how slow I am. I noticed that I really felt great after even the last one, which was in Florida last Tuesday, and that it has become a really important part of my life. Let's come back to center and just roll the wrists. This is an important part of my life, not only for my physical health, but for my emotional and mental health as well. Other way. So let's let our hands come back to our knees. So it may not be running for you. It might be something completely different than that. But taking that time and finding that thing that really resonates with you, that's helpful for your physical health, for your emotional health, for your mental health. And then you can just take moments throughout your day and do. All right, so let's release our hands down now to our sides. I'm going to take a hold under the edges of my chair here, keeping that heart open. And then drop your left hand, and as you inhale, let your arm rise. And then allow that arm to float over. We're going to hang out here for a few breaths. One thing I did notice as well is that it wasn't always that I necessarily wanted to go out and run any miles, much less 13. Once I got started, press out through those fingertips, I realized how good it made me feel, and that is the instigator to keep me going. So let's exhale and release. Now drop your right hand, and as you inhale, let the right arm rise, and let that right arm float over. Another thing that I want to mention about the month of December is most of us really let our reach out through those right fingertips through December because it's there, because there's candy and there's cookies and there's baked goods. Let's exhale and release that hand down. And that's another area, let's let our hands come to our knees, where I really took control of that situation myself this year. Let's inhale and lift. We're going to be doing a seated cat-cow. So I'll actually turn to my side so you can see what that looks like. But I really took control of that food component this year and said, no, you know, it makes me feel really bad when I eat those things. And I'm just going to say no. And I did. I successfully said no. Let's inhale, lift, open the heart, settle the shoulders back. Exhale, release. Let the spine curve. Your shoulders come forward. Let's do that a few more times. So I'm not saying that about the eating and to make you feel bad about yourself. I'm saying it to say that you need to do what feels good for you and to know what makes your body feel the best. A couple more full breaths. And let's come back to seated. So I want you to think about taking the time to figure out those things. What is it that makes your body feel good? When do you feel the best from a health standpoint? Health is a really, really important thing, and we only get this one body. And yeah, it may just be a donut, or it may just be a cookie, but if it really makes you feel negative within yourself, makes you feel bad, makes you feel achy, is it really worth it? So start to think about that process. So I'm going to I'm going to try to move my cat. I'm going to cross my right leg over my left. We're going to work into some hip openers today. Bring your right ankle up over your left knee if you'd like, or you can just leave the ankles crossed. So pulling that left foot in just a little bit. I'm actually stretching through the entire top of my legs. So I'm taking a hold of those toes and kind of gently pulling them back, which is allowing a lengthening along the shin of that leg. So really allowing yourself to listen, and it isn't selfish, it isn't rude, it isn't mean to say, no, I'm sorry, but that just doesn't feel good for me. So make sure that you're honoring your feelings there. So I'm going to press right knee and open up through that hip. Lots and lots of running this month has made my hips really, really tight. So now I'm going to do a full leg cross. Just bringing that to the left. Take my left hand to my right knee, walk the right arm around. Inhale, sit up nice and tall. And then I'm going to gaze back over that right shoulder. Taking a few nice deep breaths. Inhale, come back through center. Let's untwist. All right, so first plant the soles and then cross your left ankle over the right. Sitting up nice and tall. And again, on this side, if you'd like, you can bring that left ankle up over the right knee and gently press down on that left knee. So another thing that I've been keenly aware of over the month of December is that the holidays are not a happy time for lots of people, lots of families. There can be a lot of family dysfunction that leads to kind of negative, unhappy feelings during the holidays. There can also be losses that have happened over the holidays that make holidays not be so grand. Some people don't have family. So as most of you know, we lost our grandson in 2014 on New Year's Eve. And I actually did the half marathon for the shirt I'm wearing on his birthday this year in honor of his 5th birthday. But I think the main takeaway that I want you, this is a little uncomfortable. The main takeaway that I want you to come to from that is that it isn't a happy time. And if it isn't for you, take your right hand to your left knee, walk that left hand behind. You can find other ways to bring meaning to the holiday season rather than all the shopping and the meeting up with people. That's just not your thing. Again, don't feel that there's something wrong because that's not your thing. All right, let's come back through center. Get that leg down. Let's come up to standing. There can also be a lot of trauma surrounding the holidays, depending on what kind of a holiday season you had as a child. Might not bring a lot of joy to you, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that if you choose to not celebrate Christmas. So let's come to a nice standing place. I want you to think about bringing your belly button in and kind of settling back down with the back side of your body, open through the heart. We're going to bring first our left knee up toward our chest, and we're going to step back. I have the chair alongside of me for support. We're going to step back and find a little warrior one. So just bringing that left knee up, step it back, and release forward into that knee. Now you are welcome to bring, I'm going to take my socks off now, you're welcome to bring those feet further apart if you would like. So you can bring your left knee up, send it way back if you would like, or you can keep them a little closer together. Keep your hand on that chair. Take your left hand to your left hip and just gently guide that hip forward. Just take a few nice deep breaths. And then let the left hand rise. You can keep it to the hip if that feels good, or you can let it rise. On an exhale, and open back. We're going to do that again. We're going to inhale, let it rise. Exhale, open back. Let's do it again. Inhale, rise. And exhale, open back. One last time. Inhale, rise. If you would like, now you can bring the other hand up to meet. You can come to a little twist here if it feels good for you. So you can stay here. You might have your right hand here. You might have your left hand here. You might want to take your left hand over to that chair as well. Bring that left hand back and exhale it to our side. So bringing our feet back to center. I'm going to turn around now so we can do the other side. So standing up nice and tall. Inhale your right knee up. And again here you can step it back just a little bit and just soften gently into that forward knee, or you can take it back further. Just kind of take your time and find your space here. So we're starting with that warrior one. Our right hand can be at our right hip, or we can bring it to the sky. On an exhale, swing it back and open. Inhale, let it rise. Exhale, release. Inhale, rise. Exhale, release. One more time, inhale, rise. And then let's bring both hands to the sky if that feels good. Oops. And you can let it come to a little twist if you like. Let's come back to your center. Exhale, release that hand. Bring those feet back together. So I'm going to bring the chair over to my side so we can do a little balance. So grounding, balance and grounding go hand in hand. So we're going to work on a little bit of a tree pose, expanding perhaps a little bit on that tree pose, letting our hand come to our hip. Let's start by softening our right knee. So I'm going to do both sides with the chair in one spot. You are welcome to move the chair from side to side if that feels better for you, but it's just easier to do it all on one side. So I'm going to let my right knee bend, and then let the right knee start to rise. Now just plant that right foot inside the left leg. You can stay down here, so you might just bend the knee and then open that right knee out. You might bend the right knee, lift it, and then plant. Your right hand may stay on the chair. Remember, you might be down here. You just want to start thinking about that firm foundation, the planting through the sole of that right foot. If you would like, you can try letting go. And breathe. Now imagine a tree, firm foundation through their trunk, their tree that's going down into the earth, giving them that firm planting, that foundation, that rooting, grounding. So imagine that even with the wind that blows, maybe rain, whatever comes into our lives, keeping that firm grounding. So let's exhale and release. Let our weight shift from side to side. And we're going to go to the other side. So I'm just going to stay here again. You're welcome to bring that chair around to the other side if you'd like. Bend your left knee. And you can let that left foot just kickstand inside the right, or you can inhale that left knee up and find your tree. Again, remember, you're welcome to let the hands both come to your hips. Your hands might come to the sky if you'd like, or you can keep a hand on that chair. Your foot might be down here. We just want to start again. Remember to think about that firm foundation, that planting, that grounding through the roots. The roots of ourselves. So like planting into the ground. Breathe. One more breath. And let's exhale and release. And then you can shake your legs out, because no matter where you were there, whichever leg was the stable leg, the grounded leg, it's going to feel a little bit warmer because it was taking all of the work of your body. So another pose that's a really nice grounding pose is a straddle forward fold. We're going to work with the chair today for that forward fold. I'm going to show you with the chair and then also without the chair. But the straddle forward fold, I'll do it with the chair sideways so you can just see what I'm doing. I want you to step your feet out. So you can step your feet out hips width. You might step them out a little further than hips width. And then just allow yourself to move in to your hips a bit. You can even circle. Just kind of release the hips. And then soften the knees a bit. Settle to center. And let your hands come to the seat of your chair. So this might be your place. Now, if you have any issues with high blood pressure, if you start to feel faint at any point during a forward fold, you want to come right back up. So soften your knees, walk your way back up to standing. Or you can walk your feet out further. So this is one of those poses that, for me, is a relatively simple and comfortable pose, but it may not be for you. The poses that aren't simple and comfortable for me might be for you. So I want you to really think about where your body is feeling happy in this pose, and I want you to stop there. There are no rules, there are no requirements, there are no you have to go here, there are no areas where a particular pose is perfect, because that is just not something that we worry about in yoga. We want to find the place that works for us. So you can come down to your forearms if that feels good. Then I'm going to just move away, because you may feel great coming into that full straddle forward fold. And remember I said these straddle forward folds are really nice grounding poses. I'm working on pressing in through the outer edges of my feet. And then just letting my palms first come to the ground. It might be fingertips, might be knuckles, might be palms. And then exhale and start to release your forehead. And breathe. Now you might let a hand come to each elbow and just allow yourself to release into this forward fold if that feels good. I want you to really start to work on that awareness of your own body. So if you are up here, or you have your chair in front of you and you've got your fingertips on the chair and you're feeling plenty enough work on those inner thighs, you might have your feet closer together, and know that that's exactly where you're supposed to be tonight. So no matter where, soften our knees back up, and I'm going to bring this chair back to center. Remember, you might be sitting on the ground. There's nothing ever wrong with the chair. I'm going to put my blanket back over my chair. Come to seated. Now, if you have blocks, let me grab a couple. If you have blocks, you may want to bring the blocks under your feet and bring your feet up on the blocks. You can cross and start to do a little bit of a cross-legged with the blocks. You might bring one leg up. You might bring both legs up. It really is very much up to you. I'm actually going to turn my blocks to their shorter side right now. Find a nice comfortable seat and just cross at the ankles, sitting up nice and tall, letting my hands settle to my knees. So we're to the last few minutes of our practice today, and I want you to relax those shoulders back, let your eyes close. Start to just allow yourself to settle into your breath. And as you settle in here, start to place your focus on intentions for yourself for this new year. Grounding, foundational intentions. How do you feel good? What are the movements that make you feel good? What is the foods that make you feel good? What is the work that makes you feel good? Taking each morning as you wake up to remember and reiterate those feelings, those places, those things that make you feel good. Keeping them with you throughout the day, taking time for a walk, taking time for the breath, taking time to put together that amazing meal that nourishes not only your body, but your mind. And now just staying with the breath, taking this moment, this opportunity to thank yourself. We're creating this little bit of time. It's a half an hour a day. So even if you did a half an hour every day of some kind of mindful movement, it's just a small percentage of the time. I often hear, I don't have time. On the video, if you get done with 5 minutes, you get done with 5 minutes. But once you get into that 5 minutes, I think you'll want to stay. Creating the space in your day, the time. Knowing that you're worth it. It's good for you. Now, your next inhale, I want you to think about starting to let your eyes open. going to take a moment here to ask everyone a favor. We have a very good participant follower in this group whose family lost a young member this week, and they did lay him to rest today. His funeral is today, and I just want you to hold good thoughts, hold happy thoughts about his life and what his life meant. Even though we don't know him personally, we can hold those good intentions. We can hold those positive feelings. We can hold that good energy and space for the family as they're dealing with this grief in the new year. So let's let our hands come to our heart. May you be healthy, happy, and may you live in peace. And may you take this practice out with you into the rest of your evening with some positive intentions, some goal creation. Take it with you into the rest of your day tomorrow and your week. Have a wonderful rest of your Monday. Namaste. So thank you all for joining me again. We should be back to regular Mondays now with the holidays over. I do have a travel day coming up in a couple of weeks, but I will let you know when that is going to happen. I'm on my way to Louisiana for a half marathon later this month, but I will update you as to what's going on that week. I don't remember exactly what time I get back in on Monday. So anyway, have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you next Monday. If you do have any questions or concerns, or you are interested in learning more about yoga, running, healthy eating, whatever it happens to be, just go ahead and pop me a private message or comment in the group. Thank you. Bye.